We have endless group chats, algorithms feeding us content, and constant digital touchpoints. Yet statistically, human isolation is at an all-time high. Enter a 22-year-old Harvard dropout who saw an opportunity in this isolation. He pitched investors on a cure for the modern loneliness epidemic and walked away with a $2.5 million war chest. His solution was a $129 screenless wearable AI simply called Friend. The premise was an always-on, empathetic digital companion that would listen to your day, text back, and keep you company. This pie chart represents that initial $2.5 million in funding. Almost immediately, the founder spent $1.75 million of it. That is 70% of the entire company's capital, spent purely to acquire the exact domain name friend.com. That leaves roughly $750,000 to cover everything else. Once you subtract the baseline costs of manufacturing the physical hardware, shipping logistics, and basic company operations, the remaining budget for software engineering approaches zero. Building a functional AI companion requires immense research and development. With the R&D budget evaporated by a single URL purchase, it forces a very specific question. What exactly is powering this $129 plastic disc? If you crack open the Friend Pendant, the component list is incredibly brief. It is a low-cost battery wired to a Bluetooth microphone housed inside a cheap plastic shell. Removing a screen from a smart device removes the visual interface that we rely on to navigate errors. To maintain the illusion that a digital entity is actually present, a screenless wearable must rely entirely on instant, flawless audio processing. Any lag immediately breaks the spell. This diagram shows how the Pendant actually processes your voice. Because the depleted budget couldn't support custom empathetic architecture, the audio is routed directly into an off-the-shelf large language model, or LLM. An LLM is a type of AI program trained on vast amounts of text data to predict and generate human-like writing. There is no specialized software layer filtering the output for emotion or empathy. The marketing promised a seamless conversational partner. The physical hardware delivers audio through a budget Bluetooth connection, adding latency delays to every exchange. You speak, wait several seconds in awkward silence, and eventually get a text response. Without the necessary investment in highly specialized, custom-engineered software, an AI wearable cannot act as an intelligent companion. It operates as an empty, overpriced microphone. When the first devices reached consumers, the reviews reflected this disconnect immediately. Users booting up their devices hoping for an empathetic companion were met with a remarkably erratic conversational partner. The device struggled to maintain logical threads. Users reported the AI interjecting with complete non-sequiturs, hallucinatory statements about events that never happened, and wildly inappropriate emotional reactions to casual observations. The consensus among tech reviewers was unified and brutal. Rather than a supportive peer, the device functioned a lot like talking to a highly anxious, slightly senile grandmother. The psychology of this failure comes down to how generic AI works. These models are engineered strictly to predict the most likely next word in a sequence. They are not designed to process emotional nuance, nor can they maintain consistent interpersonal context over months of daily interaction. By skipping any investment in emotional intelligence programming, the company ultimately created a product that required constant babysitting. Instead of alleviating isolation, it reliably generated more anxiety for the person wearing it. Curious, this leaves a glaring business paradox. The hardware is cheap to produce, and the software is clearly underfunded and broken. How exactly does a heavily backed tech startup extract a return on investment from this equation? A close reading of the terms of service provides an answer. The true business model relies on aggressive data collection policies tethered to the device's always-listening microphone. This schematic illustrates the mechanics of the data flow. The device is marketed towards lonely, vulnerable individuals, encouraging them to confess their most intimate insecurities. These private conversations are recorded, transcribed, and fed directly into an unencrypted central database. Highly specific psycho-emotional data is exceptionally valuable. Advertisers and data brokers pay a premium for access to this level of categorized psychological profiling to serve highly targeted behavioral ads. Viewed through this lens, the Friend Pendant is a complete success. It operates exactly as intended, a highly effective Trojan horse designed to seamlessly mine human vulnerability. The founders' initial pitch centered entirely on an altruistic mission to cure human loneliness. The financial reality reveals a predatory mechanism built to exploit that exact demographic for profit. This strategy extends far beyond one failed startup. Throughout Silicon Valley, packaging invasive data collection inside cheap, internet-connected hardware is rapidly becoming the standard operating procedure for wearable technology. The tech industry lacks the capacity to cure human loneliness with glitchy, mass-produced microphones. But they are highly incentivized to package our isolation, digitize our insecurities, and sell them to the highest bidder.